Hello everyone, I am your host Warrior Angel and welcome back to part 4 of this Eastern Roman Empire campaign for Total War Attila. Now first of all, I do want to apologise for not uploading this video yesterday. This is actually the fourth time I've tried recording this. I don't know what's been happening when it comes to trying to record videos at the moment. It's either a problem with fraps or a problem with my computer, possibly both. But something's been happening which is basically causing it to... Basically, I could be in the middle of a battle and all of a sudden the game will freeze up for about a minute. Then fraps will stop recording, will not continue recording then unless I shut down the program, start it up again. And I'll have to try and pause the battle, keep doing out. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's been doing this on a number of games now, and I'm not entirely sure what. I can play the games quite smoothly without fraps, so I think it could be the fact that fraps is quite demanding on the computer. But it hasn't done it for a while. I mean, I know I've upgraded my graphics card and that, but my graphics card has been running pretty smoothly. I've done a number of videos, including the entire Eastern Roman campaign up until this point. Playing, with this, I've been doing the circuit, I've been even doing things like playing Total War Warhammer and that. Which, yeah, it works fine when I'm not recording, but it might be something about fraps. So I will be making up a video, like I was actually going to be making a more official sort of news video over the next few days, maybe sometime this week anyway. But if you happen to know any good, not as demanding, screen recorders, then please let me know. At the moment I do use fraps and OBS. I swap and change between them as and when I need to, depending on what one's better, good for what situation. OBS is alright, it's just it does have times when it does show a quite poor performance when it comes to the recordings, whereas fraps has always been pretty good. It's just the fact that it is quite demanding, so bear in mind what I'm going to have to be doing for these videos anyway, for the Total War side, is I'm going to have to just play it bit by bit. So I'm going to record, I'm going to save before every battle, and the battle you see will be the recording that actually works. Right, so it might not be the one I actually started this recording with, for example, but it will be the one that works. So just bear that in mind, okay guys? Otherwise I'm going to continue trying to do this and continue and deal with basically the threats that we're going to have to face as the Eastern Romans. Because at the moment there are two major threats that have shown themselves the previous times I've tried to record this. First of all is down here in the south. We've got Axum, currently outside Alexandria. Now it's a pretty strong stack, it's a 20 stack here as you can see. And we've got two armies in the area that could try and deal with them. Yep. We've got the 2nd Legion down here at Oxyrhynchus, being led by Maximilius Calvinus. As you can see, mainly Comptonus' spears, recruiting a whole bunch of Legio. In fact, I'm gonna... yeah, I'll cancel the recording for one. Never done before, just don't see them really the need now for them after fighting this battle like 4 times now. Because what's going to happen, well chances are will happen, is that Axum will come down here to attack Oxyrhynchus and attack the town straight away. When that happens, I'll be able to defend them pretty successfully. I've done it every time so far, with ranging in different types of casualties depending on what the enemy tactic does. They don't always do the same tactics in the battle, but I've won every time, so I'm not too concerned about Oxyrhynchus coming down here. So I'm just going to do the same movements as before. I just left this army here, and up here I've got the 10th Legion, which as usual I've done this. I move them slightly forward. Hopefully I'm not in the desert. No, I'm not. I'll just move them there. So I can actually recruit a couple of units, so in case that they come this way, I can at least fall back to Attila if I have to, and it allows me to be able to bring up a reinforcement army in case Axum does anything different this time around. So in terms of recruitment, I'm just going to take advantage and recruit a unit of these, these 3 units. I know that's pretty much all my money gone, but I'm actually going to be able to make up this in another way in just a second. So that's everything really I can do down here. I don't want to attack Axum, I want to wait for them to come down and attack Oxyrhynchus, and then I can actually take advantage of the streets and that to pen them in, because their troops are not good quality, despite the fact that some of their units are 2nd tier. But as you can see, very poor armor piercing damage, poor missile block chance against heavily armoured spearmen. So yeah, I reckon I could take them on. So that's the situation down here. Now, the main reason why I'm happy to spend my money here is because of this. Now, the military alliance is broken with the Western Roman Empire. This was quite a surprise when I first noticed it in the events messages. Now, our trade is still going on. As you can see, we're still making a fair bit of money. So this is a situation that... Oops, wrong button. I'll come back and do technology in a second. So we'll go over here and talk to the Western Romans. Now, they're still pretty happy with us. We still got military access, still got trade. So this is what I can do.
Emperor, be most welcome.
They still want a defensive alliance, so before I demanded quite a fair bit of money. I think I went for this much, and they accepted. Then we go for military alliance, and they accepted. So just like that, they cancelled our military alliance, and I managed to get it back with them paying me 3,000. So all in all, not a bad start to this. The other thing I did before as well is I had to look at the people I can actually trade with, if I bring that up. Because Britain at the moment is available to trade, and they're actually happy to do it.
Welcome.
So if I just do this, I can get a little bit of cash, not a lot. I think it was about 600, no 900. That was the amount. There we go, moderate chance, pretty acceptable. So already now, we're making a nice little bit of extra 200. No one else is willing to trade. The only other ones that are sort of yellow, that face, neutral with me, is a Bastia. Unfortunately, it's low for every one of them. So yeah, all of a sudden now I'm making a little bit of extra cash, and I've already got over 4,000 now to play with, which is pretty cool, I reckon. The next things I want to sort out before we head up to the Greece is just sort out technology. I'm going to go for the same one as before, tributary servants. This allows me to get 5% extra wealth from the agriculture buildings and upgrade some of them to tier 3, which will be pretty useful, especially these stables. So that will be my first priority. I'm also going to sort this out, where we've got Lucius Publicus Hispanius. He's the spy. He's captured an old man spying on our troops. He's already admitted his guilt, but what should be done about him? Now, the three options we have: we can interrogate him, have him train other agents, or recruit him as an agent into our own faction. Now, I've done the recruiting with other campaigns I've done, and I pretty much find he's a pretty crap spy. Like, his traits are pretty poor, his stats are pretty poor, so I'm not going to bother recruiting him. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually interrogate him just to see what information we get. I don't think we'll get anything, at least not to my knowledge, but you never know. So that's the situation down in the south sorted out anyway. So now we're going to head up to the north. We're going to head back to Greece, where we've got a big threat. We've got 2 Hunnic forces in the north of Greece. They've already raised one settlement to the ground for Minicum, and we're going to have to go back and recolonize that. But the main threat is trying to decide where are they going to go. We do have several regions that they could try and get if they head towards Serdica, because at the moment they've got a 16 stack and a 17 stack. 17 stack, a little bit of casualties, they've taken a few hits, but so it should hopefully help out when they both attack me. And it's both the faction leader and the heir, which I actually never noticed until this point, that it was the heir as well leading the Scourge of the Steppes. So they have 2 options. They can't attack Serdica straight away, they haven't got siege equipment yet. So they can attack Scoopy, Trimotium, or even Marcinopolis. So my choice is which one to go for and try and protect. So what I did last time, I actually moved the Emperor over to Marcinopolis, and I moved the 4th Legion led by Appius Albertanus down here to Trimotium. I'm going to have to practice learning these Greek words, these Latin names I should say, especially if I'm going to be trying to say them a lot. So yeah, that's what happened then, and what happened last time, they actually came down and attacked Trimotium. In the past, they ended up trying to attack the Emperor of Marcinopolis. I've defeated them both times, but during the battle in particular, there's always the game's freezing up, Flap stops recording, it's a hassle. So I'm definitely going to have to make sure I record or do a quick save of the battle before I start. So finally then, we're just going to try and upgrade some stuff. Now, we've got problems with food in Scupio, notice, in Dardania. We are upgrading the field, so we'll have to wait for that, unfortunately, before we can get anything done. I could upgrade some of this other stuff, but to be honest, the two of them take food issues, which I haven't got yet, so I'd rather try and save the money for something else. If I have a quick look at the provinces, we can have a look at the current situation. In most places, the public order is actually going up, which is nice to see. Dardania is going down, and why is that? mainly down to a lack of food. Okay, so we can actually get 42 food this turn. And then what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to try and get some food sorted out fairly quick. So I got enough. I can take 3 more turns roughly of public disorder before I have to face a rebellion. So yeah, I'll be able to upgrade the fields pretty soonish, and once that's done, I can actually see then about sorting out the food thing and be able to build up an army recruitment center, because at the moment I'm trying to get it so these 3 provinces all have some sort of military building that allows me to build troops. The only thing is I can't remember which one I was trying to aim for each one. Macedonia hasn't got anything in fact at the moment. Interesting. I might have to wait for public order for their growth to sort itself out. 4, 4 and 7. Okay. In Thracia we actually get an infantry ground, so we can get Protectores Domestici. So yeah, I might take Scoopy. We get a skirmishing range. We can actually get Feudatoris Slingers and Sakatari Archers. Or Cavalry Corral to get Scout Equites. In fact, I'm actually going to go for... I'm going to go for cavalry, I think, because one, I prefer Scout Equites, they're pretty good at knocking down enemies. Plus I can upgrade the fields then up into a, horse pasture, so I can actually get better cavalry as a result. So I'm going to spend the money on that. Otherwise, I think that's really everything I can do. Let's just double check over here. Is there anything I can spend my money on? I can spend Sinope. We are... okay for food. In fact, we're actually making a lot of fertility here, no doubt thanks to one of the mods I've got. So what we've got here, we've got a skirmishing range. Let me see, what's going to make me the most money, I reckon, is the good way to go with this. 130, 450, 5, wow, that's a fair bit. Unfortunately, I don't actually get much access. I think because I got the skirmishers. I could change that over though to a cavalry ground myself, so I can use Bithynia as a recruitment zone. Let's have a look. That's okay there, and we've got infantry there. So yeah, I think I'll do that. In fact, let's. Oh, I'll get 700 from there, from the sheep flock. So I'm gonna get a horse breeder. Why not? Okay, so that's everything I can do for the turn now. We've made all the alliances we can. We've done all the diplomacy, sorted out the things. We're going to end the turn and just see what happens next. Oh, I keep forgetting about this chap, Vendonius. He's the governor of Thracia, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make him a sentinel. He doesn't have to worry too much about public order at the moment. And this allows me to get a bit of extra thing when defending, and allows me to increase the army recruitment capacity, which is pretty useful. I'm also going to take advantage of this, give him a practice shield and epic poets, just to help his stats out and help out a little bit with the price of the military buildings in the region. Okay, now let's end the turn. Now, like I said, what happens before Axum normally attacks. Okay, we'll see what happens in any second. Caledonians, Alans. Okay, Axum. Let's see. Don't let me down now, guys. Just like planned. So here's the situation. The balance bar is actually going to become pretty bad in my favour. But it's still doable in my experience. Now, the settlement itself is my favourite one out of the Roman buildings. Settlements only gives them 3 avenues of assault, which I can easily cover with my infantry. They've got a lot of ranged units, but I've got stationary testudo, which is going to be pretty useful against them. And otherwise their troops are not really anything to write home about, in fact. They've got a few tall spearmen, they've got these fast swordsmen, which are actually very bad at trying to attack armour, which unfortunately all my infantry is quite heavily armoured, so they won't actually do that good against them. But I do have a Legio and my general just to help out things in that regard. Otherwise we're going to just rely on the anvil of the Combatanese spears and try and use the Scout Equites, the Sagatari and Nads to try and do as much damage as possible. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to save now, hence why the game's stopped for a second. There we go. And I'll see you guys on the battle map in just a second. Okay guys, welcome to the battlefield. Hopefully this is going to work out. So let's check out the situation. The enemy has deployed themselves in three positions. We've got two in the north, one to the east. So let's just check them out quickly. Over here they got their swordsmen, some melee cav, some the fast swordsmen, some of their dogs, and a unit of desert hurlers. Okie doke. On their main front, shall we say, they've got some bowmen, spearmen, and horsemen, and over here on the flank they've got the rest of the things, including mercenary desert legionary defectors. I forgot all about them, in fact. Some more archers and some more camel riders this time, and desert raiders. Okay, so this is the situation. This is the thing that actually won me the battle multiple times, okay? So what I'm going to do, I don't need to actually defend this. Oh no, I might have to actually defend the site, because that's what the army's there for. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all deploy my barricade down here. I want to be able to hold this bit off as much as I can. So what we're going to do, we're going to deploy both these two units, stretch them across here. And the plan is just to hold the line. I want to be able to use this watchtower to try and do as much damage as possible, and given the fact that these troops in particular have got very low, missile block chance, that's the word. Thanks to those being pretty low, we should be able to do pretty fine with them. Here, over here now we're going to get, this seems to be like one of the main, actually it's not one of the main front lines, that's over there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to again to try and deploy them down. We're going to try and move a little bit more forward though. And we're going to get them into position, hold across this wall, and again allow the watchtower to do most of the fire damage as far as I'm concerned. Over here now we're going to put the same situation. We're going to deploy them so we can defend the tower. We'll put all three troops though here, make sure they're good at that. And again, defensive testudo is the... They say defensive testudo, the button though says stationary testudos, which are trying to wrap around my head a bit. But yeah, I'll put them here, so that way then they can defend themselves against the attack. In order to protect them then, we're going to put a unit of Legio. Actually, I'm going to put them a little bit more forward. We're going to take advantage of the Legio's darts in order to try and kill a few more people there. Over here, we're going to have issues with regards to the archers, but I've got a plan hopefully to deal with those. Then we've got the ones over here. So what am I actually going to do? We're going to put a unit of Scutari up here. We're going to allow them to just focus and do a lot of damage. In fact, can I just double check what they've got in terms of armor? Just so I know whether or not to use heavy shot or light shot. Their armor's pretty low in fact, so yeah, I reckon just using standard shot will work pretty well. And if there's any issues with the cavalry, then we can switch over to fire shot. The other Scutari units, I'm going to actually put them over here. They've got a little bit more further range, so they will be okay there. And just to help out, we'll continue using standard shot for the moment. Finally then, we'll put Maximilius here just to hold it so we can put him in whichever direction we need to. And finally, the issue then with the equites. Now, my ideal place is actually put them in this area of shrubbery here. Now, it doesn't look like much, but it actually conceals both units and hides them. So I can actually put them either direction depending on what's needed. At the moment, I would say over here, just because once the enemy sort of engages their forces against my spear line, I can send them behind them and deal with the archer units. So that's the general plan. We'll see how it goes right now. Okay, so these two units, first of all, let's move them so they go... Oops. Nope, we want you to go across, like so.
The Lord would never forgive us if the capital were violated by filthy invaders.
And just like that, we're going to go into defensive studio, ready to hold the line. These guys are already in formation, everyone else is in formation, all ready to take on the enemy. Apart from you, you don't seem to be standard in formation, even if you count as being it.
Enemies tend to do that.
That's one of the things I absolutely love, is just listening to the enemy, people talk. So when you hear them saying things like, the enemy are fighting back. Yeah, the enemy has a tendency of doing that, you know? Like, duh. That makes me laugh. Okay, here we go. The tower's about to start attacking. We can take a lot of firepower from the enemy's forces, defensive formation. But once the enemy has engaged their troops, which includes their general and this camel riders unit, I can send the cavalry around in order to deal with the archers then. hopefully that'll make things a little bit easier. The enemies are already doing their thing. We're now using our darts. At least I thought we were. There we go. A couple of hits there, that's good to see. The enemy's now bringing in some of the forces. How are these doing? They're actually taking a few hits now. Maybe the darts actually did a bit more damage than anticipated. Never mind, we'll charge in though. Focus on trying to attack that weird line. Because you're doing that though, let's Alright, just to help out as well, I'm going to send my general down. Now it's time now to start sending up the forces. So we're going to send one unit of horsemen over to there. We're going to send the other one over here just so we can try and eliminate them. No, in fact, we'll send both of them over here. Focus on eliminating all the enemies, ranged units in one go before we move on to the next bit. Everything's okay here. The enemy is now deployed up here. The formation's holding fine. We've got our archers on the wall attacking theirs. Yeah, we'll do pretty well on the left flank, I'd say. As long as we can hold the tower. I have noticed that's fallen a bit. Okay, General, how are you getting on? Let's help out a little bit. War cry. Said. War cry. Oh, in that case, charge in, men. You guys take out the slingers.
The enemy is going for our general. Protect.
It's okay, the general's fine. Don't worry. Okay, you guys can now go after that unit. Them. Right, guys. Once we've killed off these bowmen, I want them routed completely, so I don't have to worry about them coming back. Like so. Now they can go back. How's everyone else doing now? The slingers are starting to take some damage. Everyone else, these have taken a few, but otherwise we're okay. Alright, General, are you willing to use... There we go. I'll tell you what, fine. For some reason my General does not want to use War Cry. Okay, let's finish them off, men. Okay, that will do the job pretty nicely. We can now bring both the units back. I'm going to send them over to this side next, so we can actually deal with the enemy. Is it sharpish? Okay, how's the infantry cavalry doing? Okay, we almost eliminated this unit. There we go. Deal with them. Nope, they're done. Okay, now come down here and start engaging, doing flanking charges against the enemy's forces. Okay, once you're done, which should be any second, come down here and start dealing with the warhounds. We can break the enemy. Their cavalry's broken already. Excellent. Okay, continue to take them out, men. General, continue to make their way over here. Right in the rear. Hopefully this does a few bits of damage. Okay guys, we can do this. Come on. Let's check out what's going on. I just heard someone, I think one of the equitators, turn around and said, "You tried to kill me!" Okay, we've broken them now. Slingers are now trying to do their best against them. I don't think they're going to do that good a job, I'm afraid. We're going to send the cavalry around now to deal with these archer units. They should probably come in up to the near of the using up all the arrow. They are, in fact. Okay, I'm just going to leave them then. In fact, I'm going to try and break this front line, this final line, because that archer's unit is just about to use up the last of their ammo, and then they're going to have to try and face melee against my 3 units of spearmen. Think, wow, they're getting shot at by the archers, so... In fact, let's move you guys a little bit more forward. And I can just leave you guys... Okay, you've ran out of ammo, in fact. Okay, let's just get you away from there, and there's no point giving the enemy extra casualties. Okay, you guys can ping there, you guys can charge in. Okay, in fact, Equites, do something a bit more better. Kill off all the enemy. If we can kill the king, even better. And just like that, we're now won the battle. So we're just going to fast forward this a little bit, just so we can try and kill off as many of the enemies we can, including their general if we can. He's right here, guys. Come on. How many? Stop bouncing around. I'm trying to track him. 17. Come on. Alright, to be honest with you, I think we've done the job pretty well. These... Oh, well, there we are, actually catching up the Equites. Do I allow them to try and kill off the enemy king? In fact, can I find the enemy king? Let's have a look-see. God, they're moving faster than my camera can move. Nope, that's just a normal man. Normal. Shit. Okay, so yet another crash, so I'm not going to try and risk it this time. I think the king has managed to get away. So let's just end the battle. Apparently it was a close victory. I felt we did better than that, to be honest. But let's see how it goes. But there we go. We took a few casualties. We lost 476 men, so we've dropped to under 1,000. When we turned, we managed to kill 1,728 of the enemy. Now obviously this is not just taking into account my own forces, but also the garrison as well as the watchtowers. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with that result. Most of the enemy is now killed off. We've only got that one unit of archers at full strength. So all in all, a good result of the battle, I think. Okay. In fact, I'm not going to try and risk the second battle, which I know is going to be coming up, which is against the Huns. I'll introduce you to it. But it also gives me a quick opportunity now, in fact, to discuss with you about Total War Warhammer. Now, I did say I wanted to start a campaign, and I have been enjoying playing the game myself, as I mentioned earlier. My Vampire Counts campaign I've been pretty enjoying. Now, I was planning to do it for the channel as well. Let's have a quick look here. Let's take on the Warriors. Extra 10% is nothing to sneer at. So yeah, I was going to do a Total War campaign, but one, I've been having issues with recording, as you've noticed, and two, Fraps does not actually record Total War Warhammer. I don't know why. One of the theories I think is because of the fact that it's a DX12 game, whereas Fraps hasn't been updated since 2013. So yeah, it doesn't record, and OBS does record, but it does such a crap job. Like we're talking, on the videos freezes up in battle over certain things. Runs smoothly playing the game, but the recording itself is pretty shite. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to play Total War Warhammer for a while, which is another reason really why. If you happen to recommend any good screen recording software, then let me know, which isn't as demanding as Fraps. Please let me know in the comments. But anyway, this is what we're going to leave you with. The next episode will be a battle, and hopefully I'll be able to record the whole thing without much issues. So this is the situation. It looks fine on the campaign map, funny enough, so I can actually talk as much as I want for the moment. Just something about maybe the camp battle map being a little bit more demanding, who knows. But yes, this is the situation. We've got a pretty good army already here, courtesy of the Legion, and we've got a couple of units of a garrison, but all in all, not too bad. But in return, we've got two forces attacking us. Both of the armies have attacked. We do actually have a bit of an advantage in the balance part, but I know if we fought this, I'm probably going to take a lot of casualties, so I'd rather fight it out myself, where I know I'd win then. So this is the main army, the Poisoned Arrows, led by their king. He's got a few forces, mainly cavalry, as you can see, a couple of units of infantry. They do have some good ones, like these Hunnic Spears, as well as these mercenary Bosphorian warriors. But otherwise, their troops are pretty low standard. We can easily take them, especially given the mod that I'm using for the faction traits, led by Prometheus, actually makes their infantry lower morale to weapons, so it forces you to, if you want good, better morale troops, to use cavalry. So that's on this side, and then the reinforcement army is pretty standard. They've got Unisteppe levies, some tribes people, which is nothing to worry about, some bowmen, and a lot of things. Now the main problem I'm going to face is the mounted bows. Their horse archers are going to be really annoying to try and pin down. So what I might do is, once I dealt with the infantry and their melee cav, I'm just going to let them waste their arrows against me, stay in stationary to Studo, and then wipe them out as they try to attack. But like I said, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it for today. So I hope you enjoyed the battle thing, and join in me next time as we deal with this Hunnic threat at our borders. Once we're done with that, then we can actually go and recolonize Minicum. So look forward to that, and we can actually sort out Dondonania once and for all. So thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye for now.